Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find her image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind, hold her hand, and don't believe a lie. You understand me. Walk her down the valley, pack a piece of heaven for the bottoms of her feet. Teach her how to jump and how to stretch when she reach, like the angels do, and you gon' make it through now. Tell about the healer, greater is the one within, and call him as the leader. Teach her how to hold a pretty hand up to the sky, and never wait upon the giver, he'll deliver like a dealer. Take her higher, higher, fly out the valley and the fire. Take her higher, higher, fly up out the valley and the fire. Train her feet for running, show her every door and how the windows let the sun in. Copy out the key and tell her this is for becoming. Even in the fever, baby, cry and get to running. And tell her that you better get your bootstraps up, you're with the army. Ready when the truth act up, nothing can harm me. Yelling from the roof I touch, put up a guard and count to 10. Lion's den, speaking with the higher pen. Can't be touched by fire, fast forward to the grown things now. I'm working on them soul things now, forgiving all your old ways, but it's harder on the cold days. Cold days. Never been a product of a flawless environment. Never acted like I'm higher than you. And I still pray, dear God, won't you send me a break? Cause I need to get away, yeah. Dear God, won't you send me a break? Cause I need to get away, yeah. Cause I would rather be running away. I would rather be running. Dear God, won't you send me a break? Cause I need to get away. I need to get away now. I need to get away now.
Listen, daughter, pay attention, pray and listen, hear your father. These lies they told are so familiar. They will haunt you, they will kill you, keep you hostage. King will heal you before him, adore him. He will give you everything. Come and take your
Can't keep
wedding
going
back to what I used to know. But please hold my hand as I go down this road. Can't keep going back to what I used to know. But please hold my hand as I go down this road. Can't keep going.
Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find an image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind, hold her hand.
Have such an amazing, beautiful woman that is gracing us with her presence. Not only that, her lipstick on this picture that I chose, I had to make everything pretty much purple, well, pinkish purple, lilac. I don't know my colors, y'all, because of her, because that lipstick was popping, honey. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to bring up this beautiful, beautiful lady, Apostle Dr. Howard. And we're going to give her a round of applause when she's come up. Hold on one second, Queen. Thank you for joining. Let me give my intense applause. I had to give you an intense applause. And look what you have on. And look at your colors that I chose. And I had no idea. That is how you know this was supposed to happen. Yay. You didn't even know what picture I chose for your promo either.
I love it though. I had
It's
to take
beautiful.
Oh my God. Thank you. I love the lights, camera, action graphics.
Thank
So
you.
while I was in the studio, I was just taking pictures of the graphics. I was so hot. You know?
Thank you so much, Queen.
Yes,
Listen,
I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad. And I just want to give a shout out to Shanine Bonner, who is close and dear to my heart. I absolutely love this lady.
Me too.
And she was the one that connected us. And I am so happy that she did, because you also are connected to someone that has helped me in my life. And that's my pastor, Dietrich Haddon from Hill City Church.
What? That's your pastor?
And I'm from Michigan. That's
Oh
so
my
funny.
God.
I used to live in California. I live in Charlotte now, but I'm from Michigan. I
Wow.
used to live in California, and still to this day, it's a lot of people that I connect with there, and I love Pastor. He's still he actually is my last pastor, honestly, that I've had. So
Wow. I've been with Pastor Dietrich for 32 albums,
that's
over
beautiful.
32 years. We're like brother and sister. And though he's younger than I am,
Uh-huh.
he thinks that he is my daddy or my
Oh, child.
brother,
Yes, that's
his
Pastor now, honey.
daughter.
He's so
And
funny too.
I
Oh,
can't with him.
I'm so happy. Okay, so I'm glad that we, had this conversation. I guess I will go ahead and get to some of the things that I'm sure that people want to know. Now, with Lights, Camera, Action is honestly, it started off as me just wanting to connect people that's in the industry and business, or that's doing something, and inspire those that's trying to do the same, and hearing stories from people that is in the spotlight, or people that's behind the scenes, but they're, all of you guys are heroes in a sense in the communities and the different things that you do. um, so it actually, that's what it was supposed to be, but then fans of the people started actually watching and taking a large interest in the show as well. So now I try to do questions that maybe the fans and the followers and the people that take interest just personally in you. I try to have a couple questions for that, but I also try to stick on topic with the people that is inspired to do the things that you're doing, maybe be an author, maybe really get into their faith really heavily, or different things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you your first question, and it's an easy one. No, I'm just kidding. Where are you from, and were you raised a Christian?
I'm from the Washington, D.C. area.
Okay.
I wasn't really raised as a Christian.
Okay.
My father, he went to a Presbyterian church. My mom was a Christian, but they gave me an option if I wanted to go to church. So I was not in church every Sunday at all. I just started developing a desire to be in church as I started getting older.
Okay. That makes sense. Um, what was your experience of the apostolic call, and how did God confirm this path to you?
The warfare.
Mm,
I'm just saying.
yes, speak on it.
The warfare. Because, like I said, I did not grow up in a church, so I didn't know what an apostle was, a pastor. Well, I knew what a pastor was, but I didn't know evangelist, a prophet. I didn't know any of that stuff. And so when God called me to be an apostle, I was like, what? And even when he called me in ministry, I was just blown away because I didn't grow up like that. So when I got affirmed that I was called to be an apostle, because I just felt a nudge on me, a nudge, like a nudge on me to help other pastors and help leaders, and also to go into foreign land and territory and help build and encourage. And I just couldn't settle on being in one place in a pulpit every Sunday. I just had a
Mhm.
desire to get out and help others. And so I started doing the apostolic work, not even really knowing what it entailed. I was just doing
Mhm.
it. And so when the apostle who made me an apostle, affirmed me as an apostle, told me that I was called to that, I didn't understand all the warfare.
Mm.
going to come with it. I didn't understand the attacks. I mean, it was one thing when I was flowing like that, but I wasn't really affirmed as one. You know,
Mhm.
I could go in and out the assignment, but man, I tell you, it's not an easy walk. And I tell people, you know, you have a lot of people who want to be like you, emulate you, compete with you, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, look, y'all don't want my story. You really don't want the trials and half the battles I've had to go through to get this type of oil.
And you know, it takes a extremely sensitive spirit to be able to even take on that gift, and a stronger person to be able to continue, you
Mhm.
know, in that battle. And especially that all goes with interceding and all of that. So I appreciate you. So how did you maintain your own spiritual and mental health while carrying the burden of leadership?
I had to constantly speak right
Sheesh.
over my mind. You know, I also try to not take people's burdens and just carry them and not release them, because the Lord said to cast all your cares upon Him. And I found myself early on just getting too emotional over situations that people were going through. And that was the pastoral's heart. So I had to learn how to release some of that stuff so I wouldn't carry it home with me. And, you know, if somebody was carrying depression, I could feel it. If they were grieving, I
Mhm.
could feel it. If they were lonely, I could feel it. You know, if they were broke, I could feel it. And, you know, I had to learn how to go before the Lord and just ask him, you know, I know I prayed for that person. I laid hands on that person, but God, I don't need that. I don't need that spirit on me. So I need to pray that you don't let anything jump on me, nothing get in my mindset, no taunting from the enemy, because the enemy would try to taunt because he didn't want to see people delivered. And I said, God, you just, you know, I need you to fight these battles for me because it's too much for me. And so I just decided I was going to give my mind, my body, my everything over to God, my prayer life. And I can remember, I mean, you know, I got some deep stories though. What oh man, I want to tell you this story, but it may be too much for your listeners. You know,
Well, listen, whatever in your heart, this you share.
this is really, really deep what I'm about to tell you. I don't lay hands on people quickly. You know, the Bible says, lay hands on no man suddenly. So I have a deliverance ministry, prophetic and healing. And I know sometimes that requires me to lay hands, but I try not to. I mean, I be fighting hard not to go lay hands on somebody. And one particular time, I lay hands on this woman, and she doesn't know this to this day. And when I lay hands on her, I said, "Woo!" I wanted to pull back off of her. And the reason why I pulled back is because as soon as I touched her, I felt that she had been dealing with masturbation. She had been dealing with sexual perversion. Oh, it was just a lot going on. And she was in
Mhm.
ministry,
Mm.
in ministry. And
Mhm.
so I pulled back. And after I had finished preaching or ministering, whatever I was doing that day, I went home and took a shower. And I
Mm.
said, God, I don't want none of this stuff. None of this stuff that I prayed for and these people to try to attach itself to me. So you got to cover your daughter. So I've had
Yes.
some crazy experiences. I was in another place, was in Chicago, and this apostle told all of us to kind of like get in a ring and pray for your neighbor that was next to you or whatever. And then
Mhm.
I was holding the hand and praying for this guy next to me. And I knew he had AIDS and he didn't even know he had AIDS.
Mm.
And I said, oh my God. The Lord said, the Lord told me, He said, pray for him against the spirit of HIV because he doesn't even know it's in his blood. I'm revealing that to you so you can intercede on behalf of him. I said,
Mm.
oh my God. And this was only from me touching him that the Lord made me that sensitive to identify what was going on with him. So I'm very careful now not to take
Yeah.
none of that stuff home with me.
Yeah. Oh man, the empathy, the the gift that you have in for you to actually like really walk it, and for you to make sure that you are careful to keep your healing and your mental health together. Now, who prays for you?
I
Do
need
you?
more prayer warriors. I'm so glad you asked that question. I do have a prophetic prayer team.
Mhm.
On Monday nights, we pray every Monday night at 8 o'clock. And these are seasoned prayer warriors who have been with me for a long time. And sometimes they'll tell me, Apostle, I'm praying for you, or I'm praying for you, and they lift me up as the Lord tells them to lift me up. But I need more prayer. I'm just saying, this assignment and this mantle that is on me is very heavy. And I go in the trenches and in places that require
Mhm.
a lot of carrying your sword and warring in the spirit and just laying before the Lord and fasting. And sometimes I get tired. And so I need more prayer warriors just undergirding the assignment that God has given me to walk the face of this earth. But I'm finding out, people are so busy, and they got their own stuff they're dealing with. But those sure enough prayer warriors who lay at that wall, those are the ones I need praying.
Mhm. Wow, that's amazing. You got me over here smiling. Heart is just on 10 right now.
Amen.
Um, how do you navigate leading ministry, ministering to and commanding respect from both men and women in industry? Because, of course, we know that there's some very, very traditionalized men out there, if that's a word, that feels women should not be called to any type of leadership, and you know and so how do you deal with that? And women, there are some women that feel that way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I've had more problems out of the women.
That's what I was
It's,
saying,
it's
women also
very
feel that way.
Yes, a lot of them, they're very disrespectful. They want to
Hmm.
call you sis. And I asked them, I said, do you call a bishop or an apostle bro when you're talking to them? They get
Right.
too familiar with you. I had a situation in one of my churches. The pastor, my assistant was sinning. And, he knew he was wrong. So he turned his keys in, and the person he was sitting with actually hit me up. Like, don't you know we doing X, Y, and Z as soon as he leaves church? So he found out, I found out. And I'm kind of no nonsense. So he just gave his keys. He sat himself down and he left. And so the women got mad at me because he left. And I said, are you serious? They said, oh, he was a great teacher. He was this, he was that. And he was also a very handsome man. And they said, oh, he was all of that. I said, oh, so you'd rather have somebody standing in this pulpit that you know is screwing around. I didn't even dress it up and not
Hmm.
living right and living foul. I don't care how much teaching. I don't care how fine he is. I don't care
That's
how much he
right.
knows that Bible. I don't care about none of that. I said, you'd rather have him than a woman of God who you know is living holy, know is righteous, know the anointing is on her, know she has a word, know she studies, and versus him, and they were like, well, you didn't have to get rid of him. I was like, no, he got rid of himself because he knew
Hmm.
the lifestyle he was in, and it was trickery to all of us. I remember we gave him a gift, and it was some fruit. I'm not gonna say his name, but it was like edibles. The
Hmm.
girl called me up and said she ate the edibles after she had sex with him. I said,
Wow.
whoa. I said, whoa. And they said, well, yeah, we don't care that he's sending this, that, and the other. He was a great teacher. So the lack of respect, I mean, you have some men who are male chauvinistic when it comes to it too, but Prophetess Deborah led a whole army. Junia is a
Hmm.
female apostle. I mean, Mary went and said, was she was like a little preacher herself. So,
Hmm.
you have the men who, if you are anointed and they feel the power of God on you, they'll just go ahead and accept you. But these
Hmm.
women, chickaboos,
Hmm.
oh my God,
I
they're
don't know
so.
why we like that. Even in the secular world, the Christian world, it does not matter. It's just some type of spirit that be on sisters for I don't know. I don't know what it is, but hopefully, especially our sisters of color, hopefully, before our time ends on this earth, there be more togetherness than separation. But Keep doing what you're doing, because I'm feeling this right here. I can feel why people are drawn to you, and I appreciate it. Um, what
Thank you.
bib Thank you. What biblical character do you relate to most closely in your ministry, and why?
I call myself Josephina.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes, because I feel like my brothers and sisters, and I'm not talking about the ones that were birthed from my same mama. I feel like my brothers and sisters, kind of be hating on me when I share the dream that God has given me, and they be trying to throw me in the pit. They be trying to destroy me. They be trying to come up against the ministry inside of me, and I'm innocently just coming to them excited about sharing what God said He gonna do through me and with me. They won't even touch and agree. They're trying to strip me of my coat. I can go on and on and on. And I know that God has called me to great things like He did Joseph. I know the dreams that He has given me, but I also know people that want to be dream smashers, people that want to sabotage the dreams. And, I'm just out here, just me and God, just riding with God. I've gotten to the point now, I don't tell a whole lot of people stuff. When He gives it to me, I just wait till it's
Yep.
this done or
That's
almost
right.
done, because they
Yep.
will try to block, stop, close the door, step on it, tell you didn't hear from God, you're not capable, God can't do it through you, you're not young enough, you're not tall enough, your hair is white, dyed black. I mean, all these things. And I said, I feel like Joseph that is carrying a promise. I've been put in prison. Hello. I have had accusations against my character. I mean, they didn't say I raped nobody, but I've had the sabotagement on my character. Matter of fact, one of my artists called me up. This is how they did me. One of my artists, he was a new artist of mine, and people were trying to get him. And he was at a major event, and I wasn't there. And 5 or 6 men stood around him, and one of the men, and one of them said, "Your manager's a hoe."
What?
Who are we talking? What? Apostle Veryl? He said, "Yeah, she's a hoe." He said she slept her way up the ladder to get to where she is. He said, he said he had enough sense. He wasn't green. He said, "I don't think we talking about the same person. You sure the lady with the white hair?" He was like, "No, Apostle Veryl Howard, she is a hoe. She'll slept with everybody." He said, "Nah, she's one of the most holy people I know," because he knows I fast with him. I'm always telling him the word and the Lord. He knows my lifestyle. He said, You're not talking about her." And he said it in a company of other men trying to sabotage my character. So I've been through stuff like that. I've just said, what, God? You will present me to them how you want me to be presented. But when you do it, as you told Abraham, I'll make your name great.
Ooh.
And vengeance is mine. So you don't have to say,
Says the Lord.
them, because I got your back. So you know what? I don't even worry about no more. I don't care what nobody got to say about me, because I know how I'm living. I know how I love the Lord. I know the HE toothpicks I go through. I know what my prayer life is, all of that. So I'm just on that page now. What used to bother me don't even bother me no more.
Yes. Say it. Apostle Doctor. See, that's the thing, Apostle Doctor. Okay? And then the name. Of course, that's hate for that reason alone, which is horrible. But I love the fact that I can tell that you riding for God. And because of that, whatever they try to do, it ain't never gonna stick. I love it. Look, I feel like I'm in just a conversation. I'm like feeling like I'm on the phone and we having a phone call. Okay. How do you maintain your, oh no, we already did that. Look at that. We might be almost done. Wait, nah, we can't be almost done with the questions. Hold on. Okay, have you ever felt persecuted? No, oh, well, this is in Hollywood. Have you ever felt persecuted or blacklisted in Hollywood because of your beliefs? And how did you handle it?
Absolutely not. To be honest with you,
All right.
I know I'm assigned there. I am assigned to get in the ear gates of people that other people would never get close to. And that is just a reality. When we were shooting a TV series, Double Cross, that was not a Christian flick.
That's my show. That was my show. Okay, go. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
love that show. And we're getting ready to shoot season 6. But
What?
yes, ma'am, we gearing up for that. I think we're going to shoot it in the fall, but we're green lit to go back and shoot season 6. And I talked to Crystal. I actually sent Crystal your email, the executive producer and the creator and the writer. I sent her your email saying that was your show.
It
And so
is. I
I
binged
did.
that show. I got all black just because of that show. I watched it when it first came on all black back in the it was like what was that before?
About 6, 7 years ago when it first.
Yes. Yup. I watched every season.
Yeah, I told her, I said, she said, I just forwarded right on over there to her. And she
Thank
hit me
you.
back. I said, I'm interviewing with her tonight, Crystal. And she just, I'm sure she smiled because she was like, thank you. But no, that is not a Christian show. It's about child sex trafficking, and everybody on the show is not sitting up there speaking in tongues, so they respect me on set. I don't come up in there in no robe. I don't come up in there being deep. I come in there where the Lord tells me to come on set. And they respect it. And they talk to me, about anything that may be troubling them at that particular moment.
That's
Because I
awesome.
understand. Yeah, I know I'm there on assignment. I mean, that's my whole purpose. All of these places, like I'm getting ready to shoot another movie. I just got casted to shoot a movie, and we're going to be shooting in the next couple of weeks. I got to drop some weight. But I know that I'm on set on assignment, and so
That's
I'm asking
right.
God, I got to get my weight down because I'm asking God to open up some more for me, but I know what size I like to be because it puts weight on you. So I got to drop about 15 pounds before we shoot. And we're shooting in we're shooting about 3 weeks. I can get it off though.
You
But
got this.
yeah, I'm gonna get it off. But yeah, I know that I'm only there, because God has sent me there. He has opened the door. There's something, and you know what? They're more respectful than the church. I hate to say it. They appreciate the anointing and the God that is on you. And they welcome it. And I love it. I love it. And as
Awesome.
long as I don't get my assignment twisted and get caught up into the whole glamour of it and everything else and forget what God has called me there to do, then I'm going to be okay. And he's going to open up bigger and better doors. I actually had another offer. I love this particular director. He offered me a leading role, and was going to go on BET. But I told him, I said, I can't be cussing. I can't be cussing now. And it was a good role. I had been waiting for this role because he was like, I got you. I'm a designer role that's for you, for you to fit. And so when he called me up, he's in LA, he said, here's your part. And I read it. I saw him cuss words. I said, dang, I can't do it. I said, Lord, you have to bring me something else because I'm turning this down.
Oh, I
And
love it. You turning down work for and I
then
love
and I told the guy, I said, I really want to do this, but I can't. And I know that I've been waiting months for a role from you. And so he said, well, I'm not going to forget. I said, don't forget me. He said, I'm not going to forget you. I got you in mind. That man has shot about 4 movies since since that particular role. But I know God has something bigger and better because
that's right.
I turned it down.
Yep.
It was like temptation
Yep.
in my face, and I turned it down. So God has more of that, and again, it's an assignment, and I have to be careful how I walk in the assignment so they can see a difference.
And that to segue, the next question, which pretty much is similar to what you were saying, what advice would you give a younger Christian woman trying to enter the industry without losing her soul? And you pretty much just kind of like sum that up. But for the young woman, if there is something extra that you want to add to that someone that may be watching this, what would you say?
Well, there's a lot of young people, unfortunately, they'll do whatever for stardom and they'll forget their values, their principles, their morals. I mean, there's some artists that are out here right now that are secular who have told us in so many words they sold their soul for stardom. And now it's just backfiring on them. They're miserable, they're suicidal, they got to a certain height pinnacle and then that's it. They have to constantly do more to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing with fame, more sacrifices. And this is true stuff. This is real stuff. So they have to make more sacrifices to keep climbing up the ladder, and those sacrifices could be sacrificing a human being, it'd be all types of stuff, but they were so anxious to do anything it takes just for stardom. And I'm sure you all know some of the names. I don't want to call out the names, but they've been very candid about what they did. And then they become sorry because their careers start dwindling. The devil wants to cash in on stuff. They getting older, and there's always another one that'll tag and be ready for that spot. And so I say to any young person, not just woman, you got to really be rooted and grounded in the things of the Lord. You got to understand, are you trying to go out there just for you, just to be this big star? Are you trying to go out there because God is sending you out there? And you can't be wavering. You can't be easily persuaded, to do certain things. I've been around, when I first got in the industry, I did straight secular. I've worked with Tupac's. I mean, I helped shoot Bone Thugs-n-Harmony's video. I worked on this mainstream side. And I remember myself one night in the middle of a nightclub about 3 a.m. in the morning. I was radically saved for Jesus. And I had on a cap. And it said Jesus across it. And we were shooting Bone Thugs-n-Harmony's video. And matter of fact, the other director, Howard Gibson, he's the other director of Double Cross. And so everybody around me was high as a kite. It was definitely a club atmosphere, folk not even in the video, but, they come with their boys, you know what I mean? So everything was up in there. And I said, God, I don't think I belong in here. I don't think this one is part of my assignment, and I said, this is a little bit too much for me because the getting high, the smoking all in my face and everything else. So you clearly have to understand when it is your assignment and when it isn't, because you could get caught off guard. You could not be prayed up. You could not be fasted up. And that's when you done, gone backwards into something that God delivered you from. Because I used to work in nightclubs when I was unsaved. And I used to party. And I used to get high. Hello, somebody. So I ain't need to be in no atmosphere getting high like that and everything else. So you have to pick and choose and know where God is sending you and stay rooted and grounded. Go in and come out. Don't stay any longer than you're supposed to be in there. I took a gospel rap group with me into another club. We walked through holding hands, and Naughty by Nature was rapping. And I told my group, I was managing them, I said, listen, let me tell you something. We ain't come up here to party. We ain't come up here to get high. We ain't come up here to drink. We ain't come up here to smoke. We came up here to be a witness. So we held hands. These were men. I escorted them like they were my children. And we went up there upstairs with Naughty by Nature and all them little known rappers, whatever. I said, y'all do what y'all got to do, and we bouncing.
Let me give you some hand claps real quick. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to give hand claps, and then we're about to discuss your book with some of the rest of the questions that I have for you. And actually, let's pull this up. Let me see something.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. Okay, so I love that right there. So matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Don't get a picture yet. This is what I'm going to do. Boom. Look at that background. Ooh. That looks good. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We got a couple of questions regarding the book. Okay. Do you want to kind of share what the book is about? I did, just so you know, I supported you, but I haven't read the book yet. Okay. So please just know that I supported you though, because I was definitely intending to make sure that I buy it to support, but I will read it. But I would love for you to share with the viewers a little brief on the book, if you know, no spoilers, of course. I know you don't want to give spoilers, but what would you like to share?
Well, first of all, let me thank you for even supporting me.
For
Um,
sure.
I definitely appreciate it. The book debuted as #1 bestseller within 24 hours in its category when it came out. And I am really praying to God that it will be #1 across every category, not just in the religious or Christian sector, but that people who are even unsaved would read it, because people know about Adam. You know, you don't have to be
Mhm.
a born again believer to have heard of Adam in the Bible, you know? So I thank you for that. But the book came to be because I am always interceding on behalf of singles. I'm single myself, white
Me
hair and
too.
all. Yeah, and it's not an easy pill to swallow. And the Lord had given me the assignment to intercede and to pray on behalf of singles, especially during tough moments like Christmas and Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day, even though it's pagan and people going to weddings. God said, intercede, intercede, intercede. And I can feel, I'm very sensitive in the spirit. I could feel depression. I could feel grief. I could feel loneliness during those times that singles were going through. I could feel hopelessness. I could even feel when some singles didn't even want to go on. And God would say, stay on your face on behalf of the singles. And so I was crying out one night, and I was crying out even about myself. I said, God, I'm getting older. My body doesn't move the same way. I'm tired. I'm tired of praying on behalf of singles. I mean, me and God were having a talk about 4 in the morning, and he took me to Genesis 2 and 18. In Genesis 2 and 18, excuse me, that's where Adam, God woke up at, I mean, God told Adam that it's not good that he be alone. He was going to put him to sleep and he was going to create a helpmeet. And so Adam had just finished labeling everything, you know, the grass, the flowers, the rocks, the trees, everything. And then God puts him to sleep and he forms woman. And then he pulls woman out his side, and Adam wakes up. And then he says, you shall be called woman, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. And then he tells her the instructions as to what she's supposed to do, what tree she should not touch, what fruit she can touch. And so when I was crying out, and God said, God, please wake up my Adam. He's in a coma. I said, God, how can I be awoke and he be in a coma? Because you pulled me from his side.
Mm.
So the Lord started breaking it down to me. He said, this is not, I'm not talking about a physical coma. I'm talking about a spiritual coma. You know, in the front of the book, the man is waking up. He's in between two states. He's in between being awoke and being asleep. And he's
Mm.
cultural looking for a reason. And God said, because when he woke up, that spirit of Delilah tried to come and strip him of his strength and tried to cause him to no longer want to be holy or do the things of the Lord. God said when he woke up, that spirit of Jezebel came and tried to control and manipulate him. He said he woke up, that spirit of lust came. Some chickaboo, like I say, who lost all her holiness, all her righteousness, all her sanctification, because the church is full of a bunch of women and men are scarce in the church. She'll do whatever, and she isn't even the one that God would have. But because of that spirit of lust, she got peeked him out and eyed him out. She went after him, and he got in a spiritual coma, so he can't see the woman that God really had for him because he has blinders now on him. He has a cloud on him, a demonic cloud. And so this is how the book came to be. And then the Lord said to me, women, You need to really, I know you prayed. I know you fasted. I know you asked me. I know you cried out. I know you told me you were lonely. I know you almost wanted to give up. I know you wanted to eat a bunch of ice cream. I know you just said I didn't need a man. But women, you're going to have to pray on a whole nother level for this man, because the enemy hates covenant relationships that God set up. And the enemy has been fighting marriages. And the enemy has also caused a spirit of delay with distractions, diversion, people connected with the wrong people out of loneliness, because men get lonely too and they get horny. So people
Mhm.
connected
Say
with
it.
wrong reasons. I'm just saying.
You
And
saying it right.
so God said these women really need to really fast and really pray. And so that these chains and bondages and this spirit of darkness and this comatose, this dark coma will come off their man. And so that's how I end up writing the book, just crying out to God. And God also said to me, because I've been wanted to be married. I mean, I went through the cycle, want to be married, then I didn't care anymore. Then I just was going to do me. Then I was just going to date a bunch of them, have no emotions. I've been through all them cycles. And God said, He said, the reason why you didn't get married 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, He said you had to birth this book as a single woman. You had to birth this book because you can identify with what singles are going through at this particular time. This is not a thought process of your past 10 years ago and you're now married. No, you understand this thing right now with the strongholds that are in the region or global in the atmosphere right now. And He said, once you birth this, you are going to be found. Okay. So
Wow.
that's how the book came to be. I was obedient and I wrote it after being disobedient, because this isn't my first book. I've had other books. And my mom was my editor of all my books because she was a writer. But after my mom passed, I was like, God, I ain't doing no books. I don't care about no books. I don't care about writing. I'm not going to write. And I also had scripts I was working on. I said, I don't care about no scripts. So all my books I was working on and my scripts, I put them right in the trunk and they in storage. And so it took a lot for me to write this book. And then God does a movie at the same time. So it's a double blessing.
This is amazing. What a man. Oh my goodness. Let me hold on. That was so good to hear. You are such a blessing. Um, let's start with, we got 3 questions. Let's start with, how do you ensure your writing aligns with God's words rather than just personal opinion? I know that you talked about a lot of, the fruition of the book. You discussed pretty much that wholeheartedly. But for those who um may be practicing, well, maybe in their faith, but want to write, give them more of a structured answer that they can take with them.
Well, it started out with Him telling me what to do.
Yeah.
It started out with Him giving me the title. So it started out with Him telling me what topics I needed to hit and how I needed to hit them. And also, it's scriptures in the book to line up with everything that I'm talking about.
Mhm.
If there are any scenarios that came from my life, as well as plenty of other women who I spoke to and asked about their dating experience in now. So it was all driven by the Holy Spirit. I just can't write
That's
any other
awesome.
way. When I sit down and I write, I ask God, because I'm working on 8 books right now. I have to redeem the time for the books that I put in the storage. So you're going to see another one come out probably in the next 4 months. And so when I sit at the computer, I literally say, God, please tell me what to write. Please speak through me. Please guide my fingers. Please give me the titles. I literally, otherwise, I can't write. So all of mine is written by the Holy Spirit inspiring me and guiding me, and as to how I should, because even right now with the books that are going to come out, I'm asking Him, okay, which one comes out next? Which one is most important? Give me the sequence, God, because I don't want to just put it out there to be putting it out there. It needs to have a ministry purpose. And I know right now,
Boom. That's
this
it. That was
this
the next question. Look at you. You is so spot on. Keep going.
yeah, I know right now, this spirit of delay and this spirit of divorce and this spirit of depression, the spirit of loneliness, and these people not coming together to accomplish a goal or the purpose as two walking together as one. I know that thing is thick in the atmosphere right now, and a lot of singles are succumbing to their flesh, getting tired, getting weary, getting old, and so this book is timing. It's all in the timing of God. And so that's pretty much how I write. And all my books are ministry driven. And I have some very tough titles. I mean, I wish I could tell you the titles, but then somebody may try to go write my book. I don't trust people.
Oh, that's right.
I can't tell you the titles. But the titles came from God. I did have another book out years ago called God is My Ticket Out the Ghetto.
All right.
That
I would
did
have
very
read that.
That did well, but then I found out later on some publishing company stole my book. I don't know how they got it from the people who published me, and they were selling my book for $100 on Amazon. I
What?
couldn't even find my books. I couldn't even get a hold of them. They took my rights, and I don't know how all that happened. The book business is dirty. And so it was a book company that had published me. But that was a really good book when I did it, because that was talking about a ghetto mentality. It wasn't talking about the physical ghetto. It was talking about, God, take me out this ghetto mindset I have in being sectional. Ghetto means a section. Being sectional in how I believe and not believing that the power of God is infinite and can do all things. So my titles they come strictly from God. Even when I was writing this, I told the publisher, I'm done. And the Lord would not let me get it published. He said, no,
Wow.
you ain't done. Go back and reread it. I even have 2 books in my car that were the version of this book, but the Lord said, it's not done. So I had to go back, change things, rewrite things, add things, and I had to wait for him to tell me it was done. He told me it was done. Then that's when we published it.
Awesome. Okay, the last question is, what is the biggest lesson you hope readers take from your latest book? You pretty much answered it, but you can have a brief response.
Well, first of all, I want women to not give up on what God has spoken to them, because somebody said it to me 1,000. Well, maybe you're not called to be married. Maybe you just, you're not going to get married. You're too old. You're too this. I said, the devil is a liar. I'm not a eunuch. I said, because if God had meant for me to be a eunuch, then this desire wouldn't be inside of me. And this is not just wanting to have some sex or anything like that. This is a real desire to do kingdom work with whoever my mate is. All this stuff I'm carrying, this is so that this can help the vision for the man, and then some people are like, oh, apostle, one dude told me I was too strong. I was like, I'm strong because I have to be. I don't have nobody helping me. I don't have nobody
Right.
paying my bills. I don't have nobody that got my back like that I'm married to. I've had to survive. And in the process of waiting on my man and my relationship growing with God, and overcoming this and overcoming this and overcoming this and overcoming this, I can't help if God made me stronger, so even in stuff like that, so I really want people to hold on and trust God. Don't do nothing crazy. Have I been perfect waiting? Not. I've had to literally pry myself out of situations, because I had a pastor that liked me, and he just kept pressing me. He said, I want to sleep with you. He had been married. So he had been married, but he had been divorced a couple of years. So he was used to getting it all the time. He was like, I want to sleep with you. He would literally come see me and chase me around the house. And it had gotten so bad that he said, if I don't get it in a minute, I ain't gonna want it. And little did I
Wow.
there was a woman right in the side that he really wasn't into, who was just would do whatever. She was just there waiting, and she knew he wanted to marry me, but she was right there waiting. And I said, well, sir, I'm not giving it to you, because he knew if I had slept with him, that we had to go elope, because I wasn't going to be sleeping with him and keep sleeping with him and sleeping with him. So he knew that I would have to marry him. He wasn't willing to wait for the prize. So he went and he got with that other woman. So I don't want women to do something prematurely, out of the will of God, out of the order of God, something that's going to take you backwards. You know, we emotional. So when our emotions get jacked up, it takes us a little longer sometimes to get over that situation that we had a soul tie with, or we covenant with. And I'm just too deep in ministry to be laid out on the floor over some man. I'm just being honest. I mean,
Say it.
come too far. I just can't afford spiritually, I can't afford it, and naturally to be so jacked up with my emotions that I can't get it together to do the kingdom work that God has called me. So this is why I'm like, God, send the man to find me that you have for me, because all them counterfeits took a piece of me out, and I had to ask God to restore me. So I want the women to wait, to pray, don't get anxious. And then men, when you read this book and you see those different type of men not to be, the ones that I say beware of, like the narcissist, you know, like the manipulator, like the MIA man, or like the man who wants a hospice wife, or the mama's boy, or the man that's on the DL. If you see yourself up in any category, I'm going to need you to check yourself and ask God to detox you and cleanse you and make you whole, so you can be the head and not be the tail, and you can see your wife and obtain your favor. So I want men to get something out of this too. And then I want married people to see, okay, y'all may be married and all of that, but this is what we dealing with. So we need y'all to pray for us and be more sensitive, because I've been on the phone, and I've been on the phone with married people, and they'll, you know, I'm not trying to be funny, but it can kind of get to you when the person, every time they're talking to you, oh, well, I got to go ask my husband this. I got to go do this for my husband. I got to... Can I have some husband? And I'm like, really? I mean, are you that insensitive?
Yeah, I know people like that.
Have you forgotten that you were once single? I get it. You're married. You're connected. You got to ask them if you can cross the street. I get it. But don't bring it up in my face every 5 minutes, because I don't want to hear it. I need you praying and interceding that God bless me with my mate, and be a little sensitive to stuff like that. My cousin called me up after reading my book. He's married. He said, you know what? I am so sorry I haven't been there for you. He said, I didn't realize, because I'm married, what you singles are going through this day and age. He said, I'm going to be more sensitive when the Spirit of the living God tells me, call you up just to check on you. So I want folks to be encouraged at the end of the day.
Thank you. Thank you. That is an explosion. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the explosion. Look, everybody that watches me know I have a hard time finding my boom. I always have a hard time finding my sounds. Oh, I loved every bit of that. Thank you so much. Now let's before we head out of here, let's discuss your slide.
You got to bring it up. You mean that if you take that part up, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, we're starting with these. Well, we're discussing like some of your
people
like,
I've worked with.
People you work with, different events and different things like that. This is something that I usually do on the show too. Like it's called Real Talk, but this is not a reel, but it's like showing exclusive things, like what was happening during these times when you were engaging with some of the different celebrities and you know, the other people that your colleagues, I should say.
Well, that particular slide there's a plethora of things going on. I know the one with Dorian Wilson, who is, I love
Oh
me
yeah,
some
my
Dorian.
guy.
I love him. He's like Uncle Dorian. And he's so kind to me on my birthday and stuff. He blasted out happy birthday to me. But the one with me and him, and the one with me and Jasmine, and the one with me at the pulpit, and the one with me with the pink outfit on, all of those are pertaining to a TV series that I was in on BET. We had a 3-picture deal called The Wesley Christmas Story, The Wesley Christmas Wedding, and The Wesleys Go to South Africa. So they were in that particular film with me. And I just really gravitated to them. And with Jasmine, that day after I finished shooting, I had just come off the set. And me and my crew, some of them were sitting in the audience. We were able to pray with her. And my prayer team were there like extras in the audience, and God had us all get a chance to pray with her. So that's where that one's from. Then the one with me and Ty, the Black Expo, he was one of the actors that sat on a panel at the Black Expo.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
yes, and I sat on a panel, and Eva was one of the actresses that sat on the panel. And the panel I sat on was pertaining to the aftermath of having perms and the cancer and the damage that perms do to women. And they sat on a different type of panel at the expo pertaining to their artistry as actors. So we were all down there as panelists. Then the other one with the degrees, oh, you took it off. The one with the degrees, I had just finished getting like 2 or 3 PhDs.
Wow.
So that's what I'm holding in my hand. But that's in ministry.
That's
that was
amazing.
Graduation time with that particular one. So I was holding 2 of them. I had 3, but Elder Tara, my assistant, she had the camera, so she couldn't really hold it. But I was trying to hold all the degrees. So that's what that one's from.
Amazing. Awesome.
Okay, this one. I was inducted into the Women's Songwriter Hall of Fame. And me and Naomi Judd were 2 of the people inducted in. So that's why you see the picture of me with her. Then you see the picture with my boy, DD.
My Pastor D.
I love Pastor Dietrich. I had rooted a tour for him for one of his new songs. He has a new song every month. I just can't keep rooting tours for him. But he has a new song every week, every month. And so we were down in Norfolk. The next one with Darren Henson. Darren Henson, as you know, he plays the police chief on Double Cross. And so that's me and Darren. Darren also was at the expo that day, and he was one of the actors that was speaking. And then Pat, next to me with my hair wrapped around my head, she produced a movie on BET, and I did the publicity for her. So we were at the screening of her movie. Then if you go down with me in black and Timac in black, that's Timac from Double Cross, who was in Last Dragon as Bruce Leroy Green, and he and I were at a movie premiere. Then that's me getting fixed up to go on set at Double Cross, and then that's me and Timac on one of the scenes of Double Cross, because I was his right-hand woman doing the dirt with him on the TV series. Oh my Lord. You got a lot. Oh my God.
This will be the last slide.
Okay. Okay. Lynn Whitfield, Tia. Tia is a film producer. She produced the TV series on Hallmark, and we know who Lynn Whitfield is. And Tia and I were actually at a private screening for a new movie that Lynn was going to be in. One of our friends was the producer of it. Then you see Jeff, we were at Fox News. Jeff is one of the lead characters on Double Cross. He's part of the twin. Then I was getting my hair done over there for another season on BET. And then the lady in the red, she is the director of the TV series I was in on BET, Patricia. And then you see, oh, the heartthrob. Uh, you see some producers with Morris Chestnut and myself, and this was at the screening for The Gentleman, the movie with him and Terrence Howard and all. It was the last one they did, and one of my friends was one of the producers of that. And then The Gentleman at the end, Howard Gibson, he is the director and executive producer of Double Cross.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you
I thought you were going to
so.
show the clip.
What you want?
You went down, you would see the
Oh,
clip.
the video clips.
It's on there. It's
Hold
further
on.
down. It's a little bit further down. Go down just a little. That's what I thought. Keep going. There it is. Hit that arrow. Go back. Those are some of the movies I've been in.
Oh,
Hit
it's
that arrow.
it's not, it's on PDF. That's what the problem was. But I do have the
Oh.
clips. I'm actually using those clips for your promotion though.
Oh, okay.
So when I get ready to
Yes.
promote before your date, your interview date. So don't worry, them clips will be shown.
Yeah, those are some of the movies I have either been in
Yes.
or worked on. And matter of fact, it needs to be updated because the most recent one that I produced with Michael Chin is not up there. And another movie, another TV series I was in, it's not up there. So we got to add some stuff. Some of mine.
Ooh. Well, that means you'll be back. That's all. That's all.
Oh, awesome. I appreciate it.
What about your accolades? You want to go through those?
No, those were the movies and things.
Okay, that you
And
discussed.
that those are just different magazines. And since then, I've been on the cover of so many more
Oh, I'm sure.
magazines. God is really blessing in TV
Yes.
shows. So I just thank God for what
Yes. That is amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Like, for real, this has been amazing. I totally feel like it was just like we were on the phone. It was a conversation. It was easy. It was, I learned a lot from you just listening to you. And I am a single woman, and everything that you were saying, I definitely can relate to, especially being, as they say, strong. And I will not stop. Everywhere I've ever lived, I've lived all over the place. And I've always taken God with me.
you got to
If not-
maximize it.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Is there any last minute things that you would like to say for the viewers that have been blessed by your amazing conversation, and they might want, like some words of wisdom, or plant a seed, you to plant a seed? Is there something that you want to say to them, a last minute seed planting?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I want to give a shout out to Talisha Berry. She owns the publishing company.
Alicia, shout out.
I want to give a shout out to Talisha. We've known each other for a long time. That's your homegirl. And the reason why I say that is because Talisha called me years ago and she wanted me to write in some of these books because she does a lot of anthologies. And I told her at that time, I don't write anymore because my mom had passed. My mom passed about going on 4 years now. I said, I don't write. And she kept calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me. And I was borderline mean to her. I said, Talisha, I told you I don't write. And so she was holding up the book for me. I guess God told her I was supposed to be in that book. And so she said to me, did you pray about it? That's the way you get to me, is asking me, dude, I go to the Lord. And I was mad that she asked me that question because I knew that was a way to get to me. So I went and prayed about it, and I came back. I said, the Lord said I can write. So I went from writing in one book to a couple of books for her. Then after that, a gentleman came to me. I don't know if you remember, icon quartet artist Spencer Taylor and Highway QC. Spencer Taylor Jr. he passed some months ago. And so his son came to me and said, can you write my dad's book? And so I did that, and it went number one in its category. And then, but I couldn't do it for me. I just couldn't do it for me. I wrote in several people's books, but I just couldn't do it for me because my mama was not there to see my books. And so it really took a lot for me to just humble myself and to do what God told me to do to write this book. And then I said earlier, well, let me give a shout out to Prophetess Anna Stevenson because she wrote the foreword. And she is a writer. She's a writer and a radio announcer. And then I want to encourage somebody because I said I wouldn't write the book. And then also the movie we have on Tubi and about 150 other platforms, including Hulu. And it's called I Am She, She Is Her. And I'm the producer of that. And I'm actually in that as well. And I produced it along with Michael Chin. He's the executive producer. He's a film producer I manage. So I want to give a shout out to him because remember, I had shut everything down, books, movies, the whole 9 yards. Then if you want to bless me and buy my book, go to Amazon. It is on Amazon for $20. It's also on Kindle. And also I'm going to eventually put it audibly on there. And I'm going to eventually put it in another language, in Spanish, and I'm going to put it in Braille. So go check it out on Amazon. And it's on my webpage, but I'll be straight up with you. I'm not good at mail outs. If you just want to keep up with me, my webpage is www.verylhowardministries.net. I've had some people order the books from me, and they were like, Apostle, when is that book coming? And I was like, I'm going to get it to you eventually. So I tell everybody, just go to Amazon.
Yeah, that's where I got mine.
Yeah, just go on to Amazon. I am on a book tour. I am going to a lot of places. I have an expo to go to in Florence. I have another expo to go to in Columbia, South Carolina, the Black Expo. So I am on the book tour. I will come to your city.
Let me know when you here.
Yeah, I gotta be booked. They gotta bring me. But yeah, so I am on tour. And, so I do workshops and things like film workshops, music workshops, and even workshops as to how you write your book or produce your own film or whatever. So hopefully this has inspired somebody not to give up on their dreams and their promises, because I'm over 55 and I'm still trying to walk these dreams and promises out.
That's right. That's right. This was amazing. Thank you so much. I totally enjoyed this whole conversation. Thank you so much, Apostle Dr. Howard. And you are welcome anytime. I will definitely be on the lookout, and we need to continue to be friends on the platform so that we can stay in touch. But I am looking forward to seeing everything that you're doing, and you have a platform here anytime you want me to promote something, you want to be a friend of the show, whatever it is, you got it. You got it.
I appreciate that. God is opening up all types of doors for me with this media stuff. I mean,
you're amazing.
I just thank God because I've been blessed to do interviews almost every day. I just got invited, and I gotta say this because this has just got on a whole nother level. I just got invited where the TV network, CBN, it's the home of the 700 Club.
Yeah.
They're literally flying me in to do an interview.
That's awesome.
Yes, taking care of my hotel, my everything. And I got to give a shout out to that producer, Erica Lenny. She's a powerful woman of God. And she attended one of my women's conferences that I did in the Norfolk area. So she's flying me in to be interviewed. And I'm just looking forward to more of those because as the book, and I'm going to shut up, but as the book expands, because you see ambassador before my name, I became a global ambassador to the United Nations, which is 193 countries. And they presented me in Austria, Vienna in 2025. So I want to be able to do more philanthropy work and to travel to different countries and do stuff, for people in need, as well as in this country. But it takes finances to do that type of stuff. And so that's one of the reasons why I want the book to just blow my mind and sell out so that I can pour back into more kingdom stuff and kingdom building stuff with what God is providing for me with respect to giving me a gift to share with the nations. And so that's one of my desires. So I thank you for this platform to even help get the word out.
No problem. Thank you once again. And guys, I love you and mean it. You already know. Thank you for continuing to be a supporter. Please, if you really, really want to help me so that I don't have to be the editor, producer, and everything else, please just send $1 to my cash app.
Go to her.
One Nest Media. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you once again. You have a great, great week. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Tell about the healer. Greater is the one within and call him as the leader. Teach her how to hold a pretty hand up to the sky. And have a wait upon the giver. He'll deliver like a dealer. To take her higher, higher. Fly out the valley and the fire. Take her higher, higher. Fly about the valley and the fire. Train her feet for running. Show her every door and how the windows let the sun in. Copy out the key and tell her this is